Well, good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? Pretty good here, and welcome to the channel. Gonna do a little investigative drive this morning. I wanted to see recently, like real recently, I put new tires on the Tacoma. I went from a 295 55 to a 275 60. Both are 20s. And I wanted to see if there was any improvement, I guess, in the speedometer as compared to reality. In other words, I'm going to check and see if going to this size tire actually puts me closer to an accurate reading on the speedometer as opposed to the 295s, which were about, depending on speed, 3 to 4, 5 miles an hour slow as compared to what the speedometer read. And how I'm going to check that, I have an app with a GPS speedometer on it. It's set up here, you guys can see, and I'll show you that as compared to the gauge here once we get going. And then the other thing I'm going to check is mileage. What kind of mileage am I getting? Now, I'm not sure how accurate this is going to be because most of where I'm going to go this morning is going to be a slower speed limit. Some will be 55, but most of it's going to be probably in the 30 to 45 mile an hour range, but we'll check it and see anyway. As you can see right now, the average for this tank is 14.8 miles per gallon. So we're going to take off, do a little driving here, and I'll check in here and there and let you guys see where we're reading for this trip, and then we'll check the speedometer, as I said, as well. Okay, hopefully you guys can see pretty well. The cell phone I have sitting there with the GPS monitor on it, as well as the speedometer on the truck. You can see I'm actually in a 30 mile an hour zone. Don't tell anybody. But driving along, we're about 1 mile an hour off, or tenths of a mile an hour, because it's of course going to round up on the phone and the truck. But you can see there we're about 1 to 2 miles an hour off. Of course, depending on how quickly the GPS catches up with the truck on the road. Let's go ahead and make a turn. We're going to get on a 55 mile an hour road here now. Oops, got the steering wheel right in your face there. Okay, here we go. We're on a 55 mile an hour road. And you guys can hear the exhaust there. It is cold, so the exhaust is a little bit louder. Let's slow down to 55 so we can hold them. Going to try to maintain a constant speed. 56 and 59, so we're still about 3 miles an hour off, which is surprising. I thought it would be a little bit closer. There we've dropped to 2, but it looks like about 2 to 3 miles an hour off for the as comparing the truck speed to the readout in the truck, rather, to the GPS monitor on the cell phone. There's a good steady speed right there. About 2 to 3 miles an hour off. There's a good look at it right there. It's fluctuating between 2 and 3 miles an hour. And that's at 55 miles an hour. So you can see there, we still are off. I actually thought, according to some research that I had done, that the difference between reality, if you will, and what the truck showed would be a little bit closer, but it appears that we're still 2 to 3 miles an hour off at 55 miles an hour. Gonna take a turn here, and then we'll come back through the same route and take a look. Okay, we're in a slower area, and we actually have a radar-controlled sign up here. You guys can see it shows me going at 28, and and that's what the GPS showed there, was 28. So I'm pretty confident in my GPS. Again, we're about a mile an hour off now at this speed. Obviously, the faster you go, it's going to get a little more severe. But I am pretty confident that indeed the speed limit, or the speedometer rather, in the car as compared to what we're really going with the bigger tires is still off. It's not quite as close as I thought it was going to be. So now we're going to take a look at the fuel economy. All right, for the fuel economy, we're going to use this app that's in the Intune system here. It's the Eco app, I guess, from Toyota. You guys can see here. And what I've done is I've reset it, and it will track in 15-minute increments, 5 minutes per reading, I guess, what your fuel economy is. So we'll take a look at the center cluster. You guys can see for this tank, which I burned about almost a quarter tank, we're at 15.2 miles per gallon. Now, that's certainly nothing to write home about, and probably not very accurate because the truck has been driven in a lot of slower speed limits and idling as well because of the tire swap and all that, truck being moved around and all. So I'm sure that's not very indicative of what the true mileage is, but the gauge or the app that we have here will be. And you can see it shows you a true current readout on the far right, and then it has what will fill in bars across the middle from left to right, or from right to left rather, in increments of, it looks like 5 minutes. So I've actually not used this before, so I'll be interesting to see how it works. And you can see it actually breaks it down into per minute increments, it looks like, and then marks 5 minute increments across the screen. So for the first minute, it looks like on this trip, which is looks like a 55 mile an hour speed limit, we're at a little over 20 miles per gallon. And you can see the readout on the right. The current there is fluctuating anywhere between probably 19, 18, and now up to 30 when I let off, of course. Right now we're coasting behind a slower vehicle, so we're going to make a turn, hopefully get into an area where we can get a little speed going. Yeah, this guy's going to get out of my way so I can turn off up here. And we are moving up on the center readout. We're up to 15.3 miles per gallon. So we're up a little bit there as well. Slow down and take a turn here. And you can see for the second minute on there, and just our continuing drive, we actually are a little bit higher, even further over 20 miles per gallon. So not too bad. Now we're on a 55 mile an hour road, so we'll speed it up a little bit and see if that increases our fuel economy. We're at about 59 right now. This is showing us at right around a little over 20 miles per gallon. Okay, you guys can see we've been driving for about 10 minutes now. And the graph is fluctuating wildly, as you can see there, and that's because we've had some stop and start traffic, lights and things like that. But this is a real test to see what it really is getting. Now the fuel economy is going up on the tank. You can see it's up to 15.5, so that continues to climb. And we've had mileage anywhere in here from, looks like a low of about probably 14 mile per gallon, as high as 30 miles per gallon according to the meter on here. So we're gonna actually hit a drive-through here, grab some sweet tea. We'll probably see the mileage here go way down, and then we're gonna get back out on the road. All right, you can see what the McDonald's stop did, that big gap right there at the 5 minute mark. obviously stopping and idling is going to kill your gas mileage. But now to the left there, heading back towards the 15-minute mark, you can see we hit 30 miles per gallon again, and we're hovering in the 20s. Again, this is just driving around in slower speed areas, but not too bad for just bouncing around town. Anywhere between probably, I'd say 16 mile per gallon and mid-20s, something like that. Over here, we're still at 15 miles per gallon on the gauge, so no big improvements there. So what does this really mean? Well, to me, it means that I'm not seeing any big difference in fuel economy with these new tires. You know, the truck is not rated real high anyway, so we're staying right about in that same range, and I don't see any big differences. I am kind of surprised about the miles per hour, the speed limit. I did expect a better improvement in that than what I've seen so far, and I don't really expect that to change. It's not like the tires are going to wear in or anything and get more efficient or more matched to the in-car speedometer. So what can you expect? Well, with 275s, I'd say that you can expect about the predicted average fuel economy that the manufacturer states, at least so far on a slower speed trip. We'll have to take it out on the freeway and see how it does out there. As far as the speedometer goes, you're still going to be off. You're going to be off anywhere from 2 to 3 miles per hour, depending upon how fast you're going. So no huge improvement there. Maybe a mile per hour, you know, closer to what the factory settings are on the speedometer than the 295s were, but nothing major. Anyway, appreciate you guys watching. Just wanted to get out, run around a little bit, see if we had any massive increase in matching the speedometer with the factory settings and miles per gallon. Neither one's really true. As usual, appreciate you guys watching. Please give this video a big thumbs up. Click that subscribe button if you haven't before. And we'll see you next time on the web. Have a good day. Bye.